Here's the best story of the day, right? I have to get a stinger with Pope Leo and just like Pope Leo and Pope Leo supremacy. Right now, this is a Pope Leo the 14th Stan account. We love the Holy Father. We are on Popium right now, not Copium. We're on the Popium. We love it. And this is, I woke up this morning and I looked at this and I said, oh, yay. Oh, yay. I love it. It's so good. And this, I think people, part of it is, the fact that for 12 years, Catholics like myself and a lot of, wait, if you'd like, there's a Topps rookie card you can buy of him. I actually might have to buy this. This is a real thing. You can buy the Topps rookie trading card of the Pope, which I may have to buy. This is the Pope's official portrait that was dropped today. Big thing is he actually has there's something in Latin that's there. And then Leo the 14th, that's his official portrait. And his crucifix. I know it's, guys, you're smarter than I am. Correct me in the chat. The crucifix that he's wearing, it's a special, there's a special name for the crucifix that the Pope wears. And that one, somebody said it on Twitter, which means it has to be true. That is the actual crucifix or the cross that Leo the 13th wore. I'm pretty sure that is the one that Pope Leo the 14th wore. The pectoral cross. Thank you. I knew my audience is smarter than I am. I know my audience is so much smarter than I am. It's the pectoral cross. He's had a couple pectoral crosses in the early days. He had one that had the relics of St. Augustine and some others on. Then he had the Russian one, which was pretty dope as well. But that's the one that he has officially gone with. And I think that's pretty cool that he's good. If that is true, that it is the same pectoral cross that Pope Leo the 13th wore. Let me see. Pope Leo the 13th. Let me see if I can get the picture of it. You guys can be the judge of this. Let me see. Let me get this over here. Moving at lightning speed. So this is the pectoral cross that Pope Leo the 13th wore. Come on. You just did it 5 seconds ago. It's like a puppy. This is ridiculous. And it's blocking the one thing I need. I hate you, Getty. So dumb. Let's see. I'm doing this because whatever. We're just hanging out. So that supposedly the same pectoral cross that Pope Leo the 13th wore. And the one that actually has like the best shot of it, I can't actually use. But if you can see, that's very similar to the one that Pope Leo is using right now. The card is sold out. Maybe they'll do a second run. Even in the future, dude, right now, even in the future, nothing works. But Lou, your job, Lou, is to keep an eye on the Pope Leo the 14th card. If it comes back into stock, you got to send me it. But if you could get a better view, can we get a good view there? No, we can't. Rick, stop doing this. But it was so cool when somebody brought it up. But it looks like it's the same pectoral cross that Pope Leo the 13th wore. Which, if that's the case, that's pretty dope that he did it that way. Anyway, those are side issues, not really the point of the story. Pope Leo comes out today. He had his official portrait, which you'll see at your Catholic church, if not this Sunday, next Sunday. He came out with that, and then this headline, which the left has, of course, not responded to well, which makes it even better. Remember, because what did the left say? What did fellow conservatives say? He's a woke pope. Oh, he's terrible. He's an open border. Laura Loomer had a conniption fit. He's not MAGA. Blah. Guess what, baby? I'll take it. Because what did we have to do for 12 years? Oh, well, Pope Francis doesn't mean this and doesn't mean that. And I'm not having Francis derangement system. I'm talking about there's a feeling of relief among Catholics. Because guess what, folks? The funny headline here is breaking news, 2,000-year-old teaching reaffirmed by the Pope, which we don't have to explain this now. We don't have to go, well, the teachings of the church are different than Pope Francis's opinion and blah, blah, blah. Not now. Pope Leo XIV affirms family is based on a union between man and woman, and unborn have inherent dignity. Love the Holy Father. It is as the very one. Oh, okay. So I'm guessing, G, you're confirming that it is the same pectoral cross, which, how can you not love? How can you not? In this regard, Lou, we are so back. We are. All right. Even our evangelical brothers and sisters and all those guys can't be like, oh, well, your Pope is it. Nope. Pope Leo puts the hammer down, baby. No, actually, no, I don't think so, Bellator, because he was pretty progressive from the get-go. So it is what it is in that regard. I think it was, but he was pretty much that from the beginning. I think you're seeing tones like he's meeting with groups that Pope Francis would meet with. Now, Bellator, I'm going to bring this back up. We should always be conscious of this. The Pope is human. He's a human being. And Steve Cunningham made a great point last night. Is he going to do everything right? No, he's not. He's not. So I think we need to be happy, and we're happy. I'm very happy today that we don't have to explain this. It's one less thing we have to do. The Pope has clarified the teachings of the church. Union is between man and woman. The dignity of the unborn must be reinforced, and it must be clarified. So Pope Leo XIV affirmed on Friday that the family is founded on the stable union between man and woman. And one of the things about Pope Leo that I like so far is that everything he says, because he's a canon lawyer and he's a mathematician, and if you know a mathematician, they don't say stuff off the cuff, right? Mathematicians, everything is grounded in logic. Everything is grounded in making sure nothing is ubiquitous. There's nothing ubiquitous about what the mathematicians, they exist in ones and zeros, right? They exist in the formula, and he's a canon lawyer on top of that. So he's not going to say things that are like, what do you mean by that? Everything, at least it looks like everything is going to be said, and it's going to be put out that way. So he says, the family is a foundation on stable union between man and woman, and that the unborn and the elderly enjoy the dignity as God's creatures, articulating clear Catholic teaching on marriage and abortion at the start of the pontificate. Now, to Francis's credit, Francis was also very, very good on the unborn. Leo, the first American Pope, also called for reviving multilateral diplomacy and promoting dialogue between religions in the search for peace. In his first meeting with the Vatican Diplomatic Corps, I'm sure people are like, oh, blah, 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 blah. He's not going to, he's not going to call for like a crusade against Islam. The audience was private, but the Vatican released Leo's prepared text and that of the dean with the Diplomatic Corps. The encounter is one of those protocol requirements after the conclave, allowing a new pope to greet representatives of world governments ahead of his formal installation mass this Sunday. The Holy See is a sovereign state under national law. Leo, a member of the Augustinian religious order, has emphasized peace as a priority in his pontificate. From his first words he uttered on the Loggia of St. Peter's Basilica, peace be with you all. In his remarks, he said, the search for peace was one with pillars of the papacy. He insists that peace isn't just for the absence of conflict, but a gift that requires work. From an end of the production of weapons to choosing words carefully. For words too, not only weapons, can wound and even kill. Now, is that like kinda, some people will be like, that's kind of woke. I think that's just pretty much par for the course of a diplomat. I don't know, as a gun guy, as the armed papist, I will be very attuned, if that's the right word, to his talk on weapons, because Pope Francis was never his big thing was against the trafficking of arms, right? That everybody was like, oh, people who make weapons can't consider themselves Christian and blah blah blah. He was really more referring to the trafficking of arms. If you actually dug deep into that statement, he was, of course, the left will take that and pervert it into being anti-gun. But if you really went into it, it's more about the trafficking of arms and so forth. He said it was up to governments to build peaceful societies above all by investing in the family, founded upon a stable union between man and woman. In addition, no one is exempt from striving to ensure respect for the dignity of every person, especially the most frail and vulnerable, from the unborn to the elderly, from the sick to the unemployed, citizen and immigrant alike. And of course, people are going to go, oh, he says immigrant. Guys, right? Our situation has been, and yes, right. Let's give the warning. Rick's a Pope splainer, Rick's a Pope splainer, Rick's a Pope splainer, blah, blah, blah. But we do have a duty, if all things were done correctly and we had a legitimate immigration system that wasn't perverted by lawfare and open borders by a supposed Catholic president and the perverting of the catechism, which says immigrants have to respect the countries they go to and live under the laws. If you look at it, it's actually very conservative, the immigration policy of Catholics under the catechism. So the idea of respecting immigrants doesn't mean you let in everybody from the entire world. We can be talking about legal immigrants. We can be talking about actual refugees, like the South African refugees. That's what I'm going to Pope explain, because you're going to hear people take this and be like, oh, he is woke. Pope Francis strongly reaffirmed core Catholic teachings opposing abortion and euthanasia, saying they were evidence of today's throwaway culture. But he made, quote unquote, I'm going to put in quotes, reaching out to LGBT MAP Catholics a hallmark, insisting they are welcome in the church. Now, that's not an anti-Catholic position. You guys may get mad at me for this, but I will say that we are called to hate the sin and love the sinner, right? We are called to help people that strive. We are called to help people that suffer from disorders like same-sex attraction, to help them crush that vice in order to get to heaven. We are not, our Lord and Savior ate with sinners. That didn't mean he condemned them. He did it to convert them. And the idea, yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying too. He's Benedict was a scholar, and I believe that Leo is a scholar as well. So hopefully, I'm going to take the same tone with you, Bellator. Hopefully, we're going to see this be true, that he's more of a scholar in these regards. And reaching out to you reach out to somebody like me, somebody who struggles with food. I'm gluttonous with food. It's the biggest vice that I struggle with. I would want my Catholic brothers just to reach out and, help me as much as I can crush said vice. And I would try to help any of my Catholic brothers and sisters, if they needed my help, to help them overcome their vices. Our job is to lock arms as Catholics so we get as many of us to heaven as possible. So, that's the problem, is that Francis was never, he said the who am I to judge, and we got to reach out to them. And that gave cover for guys like Jimmy Martin. Is that his name? James Martin. You know who I'm talking about. Father James Martin. And I put in quotations because he is a promotion of some very disordered thinking. So he never changed church doctrine, which he couldn't do, by defining marriage as a union between a man and woman, and considered acts that are not natural as intrinsically disordered. As the then head of the Augustinian order, Reverend Robert Prevost in 2012 criticized the unnatural lifestyle and the role of mass media in promoting acceptance of same-sex relationships that conflicted with Catholic doctrine. A decade later, during Francis, he acknowledged Francis's call for a more inclusive church. Now, Anthony Stein has made this very clear, that when you're in the College of Cardinals, it is not wise to go against the Pope, right? It's more of He is right. You, you don't, they don't do it. They saw what happened to Burke. They saw what happened to Sarah. They saw what happened to Strickland. And that's just because the Pope didn't want any dissension. You're right. We do have the right to call out leaders. And I think we should adopt Bellator, the same attitude. I like that. I'm very happy that Leo has done this. I don't think Cardinal Zen, another great example, right? The idea was if you had a problem, you kind of did it in-house, but you wanted to present the Cardinals are big on presenting a unified front, which made Strickland's actions, Strickland forced them to do what they had to do to him, because of went on podcasts and did all these other things instead of bringing up these issues in house. So right now, I'm still on the honeymoon with Pope Leo the 14th. I think all he's done here is fantastic. I don't see any contradiction with church teaching. Yeah, will the left try to manipulate this? Yes, because the left is evil, and that's even if he came out perfectly, they would try to manipulate it. But the left right now is having a collective meltdown, and you got to say that's just kind of fun to watch. Because let's see, here's the reaction. I do have this on X. I actually follow this. I had to troll this person because I am kind of a troll. I'm not going to lie about these kinds of things, but let's see. Here is it. Pride.com. Pope Leo just said no to marriage equality. He said no to marriage equality. The new Pope's statement on marriage and LGBT MAP rights gives pause to those hoping for more inclusive church. You know what? The light of truth finally shines. This is my favorite GIF right now. I love it. It's my favorite one. The light of truth finally shines. This just in, Pope Leo is reaffirming the teachings of the church. So, Bellator, I like what you're saying here. We are very thankful that our new Pope, Pope Leo XIV, is measured in his statements, is clear, right? He's not saying it. He says it's a man and a woman, dignity of the unborn. And, we need to help those who struggle with these lifestyles to crush the vices that hold them back. The same you would do with any other vice, any of the other seven deadly sins. So I'm happy with it. I am, very, very good. So it is what it is. Bellator tells us his inauguration coronation is this weekend. That's right. Sunday, May 18th. Once in a lifetime event. So far, he's done great things, and I hope that he continues on the path. Steery very wounded from Francis. Yeah, I made this point, and that's why I kind of joke about Francis derangement syndrome. 12 years broke a lot of people. The 12 years of the dictator Pope did break a lot of people. It did, because it was exhausting trying to stand up for the faith in the face of a man who was doing everything he could to my opinion, please don't strike me down, Lord. It felt like he was trying to undermine the faith and question and bring in doubt in certain teachings. That's why I'm happy we have a canon lawyer who's a mathematician, because he does not deal in ambiguity. He doesn't. So Bellator, I'm with you. I want to trust. I'm going to take up the Holy Face devotion tonight in prayers exclusively for Pope Leo XIV, because apparently he's part of the reinstigation of it, right? If Jesus is still in the chat room, you can let Bellator know that, because he came in late. But I'm happy with it. It's a nice win, I'll say, for Catholics who spent 12 years saying like, no, people in that community, they can't marry, they can't get blessed, all these other things that were kind of dropped in here and there. So we'll see going forward. But so far, I'm not going to worry about things until we get there. I'm going to celebrate. So viva Pope Leo.